Hello friends. In today's session, we will learn the construction or working of an venturometer. So first we'll discuss what is definition of this venturometer. So venturometer is a device which is used for measuring discharge through a pipeline. In a pipeline. Okay. So this venturometer works on the principle of the Bernoulli's equation. So Bernoulli's equation is P by rho z plus V square by 2z plus Z is equal to constant. Okay. So this venturometer is discovered by a scientist called Venturi in the year 1722 to 18. So this is a diagram for venturometer. So as you can see, this is the shape of the venturometer here to here. The venturometer consists of three major parts. From here to here is venturometer. Actually, this is pipe. This is pipe inlet section, or this is pipe outlet. So between these two, they have fixed venturometer. Here is from here to here is venturometer. So venturometer consists of three parts. As you can see here, there is slight decrease in area of the venturometer in the first part. So this decrease in area of the venturometer is called as converging end. Converging end or converging part. That is the first part. And from after end of the converging end, there is a small portion of the venturometer. This small portion of the venturometer is called as throat. In some books, they will not represent with some certain length. So they will represent like this. This is converging end, and the next part will be connected here only. So this part is called as throat. Okay. For here, it is a three-dimensional picture. So like, as you can see, there is a throat section here. So now the third part is at the end of this throat portion, there is a one more element or portion is connected. That is a large area. So this gradually the length of this converging end or the area is increasing. So this end is called as diverging end. Diverging end. So what is venturometer? Venturometer is a device used for measuring the discharge. It consists of three major parts. First part is converging end, and the second part is throat, and the third part is diverging end. And dear friends, you observe here carefully, the length of this converging end is L. It is less than the length of the diverging end. There is a specific reason for this that we'll discuss in the next topic. Okay, that is a one point. And at the same time, you observe carefully the length as well as the angle. The angle of this converging end is more than the angle of this diverging end. That is also second point that may ask you in some GATE exams or Viva exams. What are the two major points you need to understand here is why the length of converging end is less than the length of diverging end of the nozzle. Then second point, at the same time, angle of the end diverging end is less than the length of angle of converging end. That is a two major points you need to remember. And the next point is, so through the throat, this is I called you throat section. The second part of the element is called as throat. So to this throat, there is a point is connected. Here is this, and here at the inlet of the pipe or inlet of the venturometer. This is a inlet of the venturometer, that is point 1. And here is a throat that I will take as a section 2. Section 2 is throat, and this is a third part of the element, third part of the venturometer. So at the inlet of the section also there is one point connected. So point 1 and point 2, they will fix pressure gauge. Here is a pressure dial, indicator will be there. It has some readings 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this up to some certain scale. And here is you measuring the pressure P1. P1 is a pressure at inlet of the venturimeter. This inlet of the venturimeter is connected to pipe, so you can say inlet pressure in the pipe, that is also same. And the throat also they will fix on pressure gauge. It has also some scale, so that is P2. Now the question arises in our mind, why the pressure gauge is fixed at the throat, and as well as why throat section is assumed it as outlet section. Actually, this is the outlet section of the venturimeter. We could have assumed, we should assume this as outlet, but we are assuming it as throat as a output. That we will discuss in the next after 1 or 2 minutes. This is a construction of venturimeter. Okay, in brief, I will explain you what is construction. The construction of the venturimeter is it consists of three major parts. First part is converging end, second part is throat, and the third part is diverging end. And here we need to concentrate more. The length of the diverging end is more than the length of the converging end. That is how you need to draw the diagram or try a sketch of a venturimeter. Okay, at the same time, the angle of the converging should be more than the angle of diverging end. Okay, now what we do, we will take this venturimeter and we will fix to a pipe, and we will see how the direction of the fluid, everything. Let us consider, here is a one small picture I have taken, animation. So this is venturimeter, point number 1. And this is a throat section, that is I will take it as point number 2. And this is a pipe where you have connected the outlet of the venturimeter, and here is a pipe we have connected inlet of the venturimeter. Venturimeter is from here to here, that section. Okay, now between 1 and 2, as I said, there are two pressure gauges will be attached. You can use the pressure gauges when you are going to measure a huge amount of water, quantity of water is more, then you can use these pressure gauges. You can use the manometers also for measuring the pressure difference between point 1 and point 2 of the venturimeter, where you are going to measure low flow rate of water, that is low discharge. Flow discharge. You use pressure gauges where you are measuring a huge flow rate of water, huge discharge, for example, in the turbines, thermal power plants, or hydroelectric power plants, like that. If you are using for measuring low discharge in our experimental or lab, you can use the manometers also. As you can see, friends, here there is a fluctuation in the mercury level of the manometer. Here it is. I will take it as manometer. Manometer, it is mercury. The standard fluid is used inside the manometer is mercury, and here the pressure is more, okay, and here is the pressure is less. And we already studied that always the fluid flow takes place from one end to another due to pressure difference. Here pressure is high and here pressure is low, so that the fluid is flowing from one end to another end. So for that is the reason here this liquid is applying more pressure on the mercury level. That is the reason the level of mercury on the right limb, this is called right limb, and this is called left limb. In the right limb, the level of mercury is more, but in the left limb, the level of mercury is less, because you are applying more pressure in this limb. Okay, and here is the pressure is less. Where the pressure is less, the velocity will be more. And in this region, the pressure will be more, velocity is less. Okay, and in the previous courses we studied law of conservation of energy. What does it mean? Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but one form of energy can be converted into another form. Here at the beginning, the pressure energy of the fluid is more. This high pressure energy, as it passes through this converging end of the venturimeter, slowly the pressure will be decreases, and decrease in pressure will result the increase in the velocity. So one form of energy is converted into another form. So there is no destroy of energy. Energy is not destroying. So high pressure energy is converted into velocity. So when the velocity is more at the throat, the pressure will be less. So assume the pressure is almost equal to 0, that is vacuum pressure, velocity is more. Now question arises in your mind. So when the pressure is less, the fluid is flowing from 2 to this end. You can take this end as 3. Okay. If the pressure is less, how the fluid is flowing? Because always fluid flow from high pressure to low pressure. Here is low pressure and here will be the high pressure. Understood? So there will be a backflow. So to avoid this backflow condition, so what they have done, the Venturi scientist, is they have increased the angle or the length of this diverging end is slowly. They have not taken like this structure. My dear students, observe, be careful here. So this is the length of the converging end. As you can see in these two pictures, here is also converging end and here is also converging end. The angle between the throat and the converging edge is more. Here is also more. The total angle between these two will be approximately 21 degree. Okay, but here the total angle is 21 degree, and this portion is called throat. So the Venturi scientist has not designed in this way. So this is the angle of inclination or the angle of the diverging end. This is diverging end is more here, but they have not done like this. The construction is a little bit different. The increase of this angle suddenly increase of angle. What they have done, slowly they have increased the length as well as slowly they have increased the angle. So this is the venturimeter. Venturimeter structure is exactly, it looks like this. So this is one part, converging part, this is the throat, and this is the diverging part. So this part will be connected to a pipe where you are going to measure the flow rate of water, that is discharge, and this end is also connected to a same pipe. So this will be the pipe. Understood? Just observe here, the length of the diverging is more. When the length is more, obviously the angle is less, as you can see here. Okay, this is not a design of the venturimeter, it is wrong. So if you have taken in this way, there will be backflow. Instead of flowing water from point number 2 to point number 3, the water will flow in the reverse direction if you taken more angle. So for to avoid that condition, what they have done is they have taken length of the diverging end is more. Okay, so that is a one point. Another point for taking the length of diverging end is more. The reason is, if you taken a larger, if you taken, just assume you take a larger end, large angle, more angle. Okay, so when the fluid is flowing through this corner, the eddies formation will take place in both the ends. If you have taken larger area or larger angle, okay, so there will be formation of eddies. So due to formation of eddies, there will be some kind of losses will produced. Understood? Due to those losses, there is a failure to the pipe as well as there is a failure to the venturimeter as well. Understood? To avoid this condition, to avoid the eddies formation, the length of diverging end is more compared to the length of converging end. If you are taking a length more, obviously the angle will be reduced. The answer for these two questions, these 2 points is same. Okay, so that this is the brief introduction about this construction of work venturimeter. Okay, working is also same here, as the fluid flows through this point, point number 1 to point number 2. Only you need to remember is the high pressure energy of the fluid will be converted into high velocity. Okay, so here the velocity at the throat is more, then pressure will be less. Slowly the pressure will build up here again, so that the fluid will flow from one point to another point. The pressure at this point, that is point number 3 or at section number 3, will be same as pressure at point number 1, because this end is also connected to pipe where the fluid is flowing, and this end is also connected to the same pipe where the fluid is flowing. So pressure at point number 3 or section 3 will be same as pressure at point number